Good evening, I'm Sangeeta Kandola. The head of the Metropolitan Police today unveiled a detailed plan to reform the force, which has been riddled with crime, controversy and corruption. A 9-point plan was revealed that includes a focus on catching criminals who work in police uniform. Critics say it doesn't go far enough. Antoine Allen has this report.
The public are demanding to know just how deep the rot goes.
We have had allegation after allegation, followed by broken promise after broken promise.
After months of apologies, today the Met Commissioner acknowledged confidence in the Met has been falling. We've been too weak in countering racism, misogyny, homophobia and ableism. We've let down those we're here to protect. I'm determined to win back Londoners' trust. In a detailed 26-page plan, today Sir Mark Rowley set out exactly how he plans to regain the public's trust after years of scandals. The Met say they will raise standards and accountability within the community by establishing a new anti-corruption and abuse command, taking an improved evidence and data-based approach to policing to identify issues within the force, hire hundreds of new officers to make the capital's largest ever neighbourhood policing unit, and giving greater protection to women and girls against men with a strengthened response to victims of rape and serious sexual violence. Former police officer Leroy Logan was not impressed by today's plan. Leroy, our viewers have heard reviews and inquiries and reports before. Will this plan finally fix the Met?
The headlines seems to be tinkering around the edges. It doesn't seem to be impacting on the specialist units that have got this real toxic culture. There was nothing specific around how you're going to deal with those cultures. And then there's the wider culture change of the organization. There is an environment of fear, culture of fear.
Domestic violence abuse charity Refuge believe the Met's issues go beyond just the officers that make the headlines.
Because the reality is this is not one or two bad officers, it's not a couple of rogues here and there. This is a fundamental problem of a violent, misogynistic culture in our policing.
Refuge say only 1 in 5 women want to report the abuse they face to the police. Domestic abuse survivor Wendy Turner-Webster believes victims will fear calling the police even more.
You know, perpetrators of domestic violence have no place in a civilised society, let alone a police force. And unfortunately, what seems to have happened is that they're all in there protecting each other and closing ranks. They're protecting each other when actually they should be protecting us.
When the Commissioner arrived over 100 days ago, he promised to root out the bad apples. The question now is, will he?
Just over a month ago, Rebecca Ikumelo and Gabby Hutchinson died after a crowd crush at the O2 Academy in Brixton. The venue had its licence suspended for 3 months as police investigate, but now an inquiry has been launched into allegations of corruption among security staff. Speaking for the first time, Rebecca's mother talked to our reporter, Helen Keenan.
She's been trying to hold back her tears, to stay strong for her family as they grieve the loss of her daughter Rebecca, who died in a crush at a concert at the O2 Academy in Brixton.
You have so many people to stay strong for, don't you?
Yeah, that is what is keeping me going. We want justice. Whoever is responsible for it, we want justice.
It's really affected you all as a family.
I feel so empty. I feel sad within myself. It's only when people are around me that I smile. But when I'm alone, everything keeps coming back. You know, the way she died, the way she was stamped on, the memory is still in my brain. How can that my beautiful daughter go through that? The kind of pain she went through. That really hurts me.
Along with Rebecca, security worker Gabby Hutchinson also died when ticketless fans tried to enter an Osaka gig on December the 15th. As police investigate, the O2 Academy's licence in Brixton has been suspended for 3 months. And this week, the Security Industry Authority has launched an inquiry into corruption allegations in response to claims guards accepted bribes and admitted fans into gigs without tickets.
I want justice. She can't just die like that. She left 2 young children. The first son that's got autism, it was his birthday, just a few days after the mom died. The children doesn't even understand what happened to their mom. I feel for those boys. I would say Rebecca is my best friend. She will call me and say, Mom, I've got things I want to tell you. Please don't tell anyone. And that is how close we are.
Because you're best friends.
Yeah, and I'm missing all that now. Nobody to talk to. You understand? So I really miss her.
It's a great picture.
Yeah, it was a nice picture, yeah.
Her family told me what an amazing mother and daughter she was. They've set up a fundraising page to support Rebecca's children, who will now have to navigate life without the guidance of their mum. Helen Keenan, ITV News.
A new report claims the Met Police missed opportunities to protect a woman from her former husband in the years before he killed her with a crossbow. 35-year-old Sana Mohammed was 8 months pregnant when her ex burst into her home and fired an arrow into her stomach in 2018. A report by Redbridge Council said opportunities missed by the force included a call from Miss Mohammed in 2012, telling them she did not feel safe around her husband. And children were evacuated from a school bus in Hackney this morning after it caught fire. Fire crews managed to put out the flames just after 9 a.m. No one was hurt, but 6 cars and several surrounding properties were partly damaged. Finally, a 10-year-old who took on his school and won. Rain or shine, Casper Gunton has been wearing shorts to class every day since September, mainly in solidarity with the girls who were not allowed to wear trousers. Now, as temperatures dropped to -4 in the capital, his school has listened and changed their policy. Anila Dami has the story.
I feel great.
It's a gold star for Casper Gunton as he starts his school day with a big win. Since September, the 10-year-old has been wearing shorts to school in protest against the uniform policy that prohibits girls from having the choice to wear trousers. And just yesterday, the Pointer School changed its policy.
I realised that it wasn't fair that girls couldn't wear trousers unlike the boys. So that's when I wrote a letter to say that it's not fair.
Casper has been defiant in his calls, whatever the weather.
And you must have been cold, because you did it all through winter.
Yeah.
There's jubilation around the breakfast table this morning.
It's good. Good for Casper's legs, great for the girls. There was a few times that I said, Casper, why don't you just wear trousers, it's fine. And you just said, Mum, I'm not giving up, I've got this far.
He's got real inner strength as Casper. A 10-year-old can have such a big influence.
Pointer School emailed parents yesterday saying they immediately determined the school uniform policy was an issue after it was brought to their attention by a pupil and began discussions with their uniform suppliers. They've now updated their policy, with the head teacher saying she is delighted the school have made this change.
I think a lot of the girls will still want to wear their skirts, but I think they'll want the option to be able to wear the trousers as well.
My 7-year-old daughter is in year 3. And at weekends she usually wears trousers, and she's very happy. She was thrilled last night when I told her.
Casper says he'll continue protesting over issues, but for now, as he heads inside, he's looking forward to buying some trousers over the weekend to be warm in school on Monday. Anila Dami, ITV News.
But is it shorts weather tomorrow? I doubt it. Here's Phillipa with the all-important weekend weather forecast.
Feels like home, whatever the weather. Valent Boilers and Heat Pumps sponsors ITV London Weekend Weather.
Good evening. It's been another bitterly cold day to round off the working week, and more of the same to come through the course of the weekend. A good deal of dry and fine weather, but still very much on the chilly side, with further overnight fog and frost to contend with. And that will certainly be the case overnight tonight. So staying dry, clear skies overhead, and with those clear skies, temperatures for most of us falling just below freezing. That will give rise to a widespread frost by dawn, the potential for further icy patches on untreated roads and pavements, and perhaps some mist mist and fog in a few spots too. Now, much of that will gradually lift through the course of tomorrow morning and the early afternoon, but I suspect the frosty conditions could linger for much of the day in some sheltered, shady spots because it will be another cold one all round. Even in the best of the sunshine, highs tomorrow looking to peak at just 5 or 6 Celsius, but thankfully the winds will be very light, so not much in the way of a wind chill. And through the course of tomorrow night, overnight into Sunday, a repeat performance. So dry and clear, another widespread frost, probably more in the way of mist and fog to contend with by Sunday morning, but brightening up slowly as the day wears on.
Valent sponsors ITV London Weekend Weather.
And that is all for tonight. We are back on air tomorrow evening at 10 to 6. Until then, from everyone on the Late team, a very good night to you.